Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is John, or Last Frontier Bricks, and this is my review of the LEGO Star Wars 2024 Jedi Bob Starfighter from Rebuild the Galaxy. It is set number 75388, comes with 305 pieces, including 3 figures, and retails for $40. Guys, I can practically guarantee you, with the exception of the Captain Rex's Y-Wing Microfighter, which you can check out my review of on the top on the card on the top right corner of the screen, this is going to be the most popular set for Lego Star Wars for the final quarter of the 2024. And all because of this figure right here, Jedi Bob, which, unlike most people buying the set, I actually have no emotional connection to. Funny story, not until a while after the voting for the Star Wars UCS sets, which ended up becoming Republic Gunship, I had no idea who Jedi Bob was. Not in the slightest. I'd never even heard of him until people started campaigning to have him in the UCS Republic Gunship. I didn't even find out who he was until after voting was over. This was actually I was actually watching one of Solid Brick Studios live streams. For a while, he had basically he did a series of live stream builds like every week. This one was specifically for the first Disney Castle, a set that I'm happy to say is in my own collection. Anyway, during that live stream, he decided to voice chat one of his friends who I believe he was also a YouTuber at the time, who went by the name of Jedi Bob. And they just ended up going into basically the origin of where he got his nickname and the origin of Jedi Bob. He was a nameless Jedi who came with the original Republic Gunship set, which came out with the theatrical release of Attack of the Clones, and then it was like, but in the set he was just called Jedi Knight. He didn't give an actual name. But then when the original Lego Star Wars Encyclopedia came out, they had a little cliff note section for this nameless Jedi Knight, and it basically said nobody knows what his name is. Maybe his name's Bob. Then everybody started calling him Jedi Bob. So when I found out about that, I was like, wait, what? That's who everyone's talking about? That's who they want in the UCS Republic Gunship? No, okay, to each his own, but don't be. But I was like, don't be too surprised if he doesn't actually show up. And it turns out I was right because he didn't show up in the gunship, and he only showed up here. So yeah, fun little story. I have no connection to Jedi Bob. This is the first time I've ever even encountered him because while I saw the set that Republic gunship set on shelves, it wasn't in my budget. I was 12 years old. I couldn't buy it myself, and good luck getting my parents to get it for me because, like, if I remember right, that set was over $100, and like the only chance I'd even have of getting that is Christmas, and at the time I can practically guarantee you they wouldn't have spent half my, well, technically a quarter of my Christmas is a budget on one thing. So yeah, this is my first chance getting him. So yeah, I'm not really sure what's up with all the hype. So yeah, fun little story. Anyway, the front of the box shows off the Jedi Starfighter, which I must admit, the like reddish orange and white color scheme with just a little bit of gray is actually rather aesthetically pleasing. I must admit. Plus, it shows off all 3 of your figures: Jedi Bob, the Akbar Trooper, and Servo, aka SRVO. Top of the box shows off Jedi Bob himself in a 1-to-1 scale image. And taking a look at the back, you can see some of the play features. This does have the push tab, so you do have to damage the box to get it open. Alright, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 bags of parts, 1 piece left out, but not too big of a sticker sheet, total of 7 stickers in total. and one instruction manual, which shows off the set in its entirety in a not so bad CGI render. Once again, it has an ad for paper bags in the set with no paper bags. And it's a little message from R2 to join the celebration of LEGO Star Wars 25th anniversary, and then jump straight into the build. Do have the list of parts in the back, and imagine, yep, we have the other Rebuild the Galaxy sets in the back with the Dark Falcon and the X-Wing and TIE Fighter mashup. Both of those sets I do plan on getting eventually, I just don't know when. Alright, so I imagine this won't take too long, but we'll go ahead and do a time lapse of this set anyway, starting right now. Alright, the build is done. I'd say that took about half an hour, so nothing too crazy going on. Before we go into everything, I would like to point out one interesting thing. Normally, with LEGO sets, they tend to have one figure per bag, and again, kind of spread out the figures in all the bags. But with this one, they had all three of your figures in the very first bag. In fact, the very first thing you have you build. So I actually thought that was a little interesting. They went a little differently with this one. Anyway, we'll go ahead and take a look at everything in the set, starting with those figures. So let's go ahead and start off with the figure I know everybody's buying this set for, that being Jedi Bob. He isn't a exact copy of the unnamed Jedi Knight that we got in the Republic gunship, though mainly because the different colors of the dark gray and brown, they aren't exactly the same as they were some 20 plus years ago, and that's actually a good thing with brown. As I understand, old Lego brown was actually rather brittle. Oh, and I'm sure anyone who built the UCS Slave One knows how badly and how brittle that can be. But it uses the new dark gray and new brown. There is a little bit of metallic gray on his belt buckle, but you take a look at the figure in itself, it's almost like they've had this be like, it's like the same figure you got from that Republic gunship, but withered. Like you can see, like some of the gray is spilling into that light brown there. Some of the markings aren't like all there. Like there's little notches missing. Like it's like the guy's seen something in the last 25 or so years. And as you can see, he does have the same face that you see with the Rebuild the Galaxy posters, but that is a double-sided face, as he does have the same big old happy face that he had in that original Republic gunship. He also has the same style cloak there. He doesn't have like the new one. You can see, like, take for example the Dark Trooper battle pack from Mandalorian season 2. He's got the old style cloak, which is nice. And his cape, man, this, I wish I had a blanket made of the material that this cloak is made of. It's just so soft, so nice to touch. I love this thing. Anyway, nothing else too crazy going on. No, back printing. It's sticking with, this is from the classic era Lego Star Wars. Although he does have the metallic lights. Hey, but I'm pretty sure back then they were still only in the light gray. And he does have a green lightsaber blade. So all in all, nice tribute to the classic Lego Jedi Bob, but a nice updated version as well. And for figure number 2, we have our real Rebuild the Galaxy mix-up character, that being the Akbar Trooper. Of course, with Rebuild the Galaxy, basically everything gets mixed up with everything else. In fact, in the most recent trailer that came out with the D23, One thing you notice that if you quickly pause, it's one of those blinks and you'll miss it things. Is that they blend throw Mon cruisers and Imperial Star to get destroyers is in a blender, and those get mixed up together, which I gotta admit look really cool. And that actually reminded me. This figure actually reminded me of that, so really cool. Anyway, he's got the usual Star Wars blaster, and the same torso and leg printing you normally get in your modern Star Wars clone troopers, with a Mon Calamari head, which looks really detailed. The eyes are nice and big, good molding all around for facial features, and nice printing there on the top of the head. So nothing too crazy with this guy, and really got to be able to army build this guy since you only get one per in a set. But it is a nice, fun character, even if it is a bit of a meme character. And speaking of meme characters, our third and final figure is the Gonk droid SRVO, aka Servo. I don't know. I gotta admit, I don't really know why people are so obsessed with gonk droids. But some people think they're the best things since sliced bread. So I imagine there are people who are gonna like this guy. Anyway, he's got some interesting color mixes between the dark brown, dark blue on the top and bottom, a little bit of sand blue mixed in, plus some light and dark gray. Actually, take off the the top dark blue piece, you notice they actually have a metallic gray grill piece as part of it. I wasn't expecting that. Anyway, he's got a green eye on the front and a printed keypad on the front for his face, and a stubby little antenna on the top, and of course a couple stubby little feet. So, oh, personally, I'm not sure or how I feel about our third character being a gonk droid, but I'm sure there are people who will enjoy them. I guess it all depends on how you feel about the semi-sentient walking batteries from a galaxy far, far away. And here is Jedi Bob Starfighter. I'm sure if you guys are familiar with the 2003 Clone Wars series, I'm sure you guys will recognize that this thing shares quite a few similarities with Anakin's custom Jedi Starfighter from that series, the Azure Angel, and the 2015 set that Lego made of that set, of which this set shares a few similarities more than just design in the features. That set also included three figures, two humanoid, one droid, those being Anakin Skywalker, Asajj Ventress, and Anakin's droid R4P22. Oh, and when it was released in 2015, it was also released for a retail price of $40, and people thought that was a little overpriced as well. Although that price was a little bit and more justified, as that set had a total of 370 pieces compared to this set's 305. So yeah, quite a similar set, in both design wise and features. So let's go ahead and take a look at this thing. As I said in the in the intro, I do like the white and like reddish orange color scheme, along with just a little bit of gray in the back. And you can for so yeah, I really like the color scheme. It does have the good shaping of the Delta 7 series of Jedi Starfighters, although it does have a few extra features, such as the hyperdrive engines underneath, which it shares with the Azure Angel. I do like the interesting choice of using some Lego minifigure ice skates in the front for a little flare in the from front, and plus it does have two rather large laser cannons on the side of each wing, and there are some stud shooters to go along with those. That there is underneath, you can see that there isn't much going on underneath, although you do see that unlike most Delta 7 style Jedi Starfighters, this thing has three engines instead of just two. But yeah, underneath there's not much going on. There's one landing gear and one proper landing gear, and then one where it just sits on it. Although you do see that there is a clip for Bob's lightsaber. Also, and like I said, you do see the two hyperdrive engines underneath. And on the top, but you got a few stickers going on, which I do, which do look pretty good. If you get line up, you can get the stripes looking really good. Plus, so one thing you may notice with some of these stickers, this ship's got a few exposed wires. So I guess this ship's seen some mileage along with Bob. Now there is a little bit of storage underneath here, but unlike most of the modern Jedi Starfighters, this isn't for servo. It's not even for a droid. It's for a little food storage. You got yourself a banana, and like I said, since this is a meme set, you do have a carton of blue milk. Because, like I said, it's basically a $40 meme set, but I guarantee you people are gonna pick it up. It does have the regular ball cockpit, but in the darker color, which easily folds up, and you got yourself some room for a Jedi Bob. Let's go ahead and throw him in there. There is a printed control panel in there, and since this is Jedi Bob's Starfighter, it does have the fancy cockpit along with the adjustable headrest. So one thing I'm not really a fan of when it comes to this cockpit is that you can see that there's a little exposed space down here. It's big enough that I can almost fit my pinky through there. So yeah, not really a fan of that. But it is big enough to squeeze Bob in there. Let's see if I can get him in there with his cape. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you got it in there, cape it all. So yeah, it looks a little tight in there. You can't really see him in there because of how dark the bubble is. But yeah, he fits in there pretty good. So yeah, that is Jedi Bob's Starfighter. Interesting little bit. Looks good. I will say. Yeah. Also, there are a handful of extra pieces. Yes, you do have a third shot for your two spring-loaded shooters, extra lightsaber hilt, a extra minifigure ice skating rink, and a few other extra details. So, for a $40 set, like I said, I guarantee you most people are definitely going to be buying this for Jedi Bob, and I'm sure we are going to be seeing this thing in a dogfighting scene once Rebuild the Galaxy comes out next month, which I will most certainly be checking out. Those trailers, I gotta admit, the most recent trailer that came out with D23, that just had me laughing so much. So that looks like it is going to be a fun series. I can't wait to watch it. But yeah, for $40, I'm honestly not really sure you get your money's worth, especially considering the most recent Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter is actually still out. And while it originally retailed for $30, you can now find it on both Amazon and Walmart for less than $25. Actually, now that I mention that Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter, one thing I forgot to do is that I wanted to do a little comparison to a couple other Jedi Starfighters. So, first off, we have the Obi-Wan's Episode 2 Jedi Starfighter from 2017 with the $100, I believe, Toys R Us exclusive Jedi Starfighter with Hyperdrive Booster Ring. And here is the 2018 Clone Wars Anakin's Jedi Starfighter. So, taking a look at these three together, I would say that they are about the same size. Now, of course, the Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter was from a much larger $100 set from back in the day. However, the 2018 in Anakin's Jedi Starfighter was a $30 set, though it only included Anakin and R2-D2. So I'd say comparing the three Jedi Starfighters side by side, I'd say that Jedi Bob's Starfighter is around the same size as the other two Jedi Starfighters. But yeah, unless you're really want to get a hold of Jedi Bob, since this is the only set he's available in, I don't think it'll kill you if you wait a little bit for this set to go on sale before you pick it up. Because, like I said, with the other Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter still out, and it'd be available for $25 for around the with around the same amount of pieces. Is plus like you get the Obi-Wan in the R4 P17 plus this very first Kaminoan Tonwi. So yeah, unless you really want the Jedi Bob, I see no reason why you can't wait to see this thing go on sale. Because I won't be too surprised if it will. This thing is gonna be popular. It's gonna sell well. Which means it's probably which means Lego's not gonna mind. Lego or other stores aren't gonna mind it knocking this down a bit. But all in all, I think it is an enjoyable set. Actually, the switchability on this thing is actually pretty cool. Well, it's actually pretty good. I think you're gonna enjoy. I think people are going to enjoy this set, even if it is a bit of a meme set. And I'm sure it'll become even more popular once Rebuild the Galaxy comes out. Because, like I said, just looking at trailers, that looks like it's going to be a fun show. Me and my brother are going to be watching that as soon as we possibly can. Anyway, that is my review on this set. Thank you for joining me for it. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe, all that stuff. You can check out some more of my content on the end screen in just a few seconds. And I will see you all in the next video. Later, everybody.